Today, I would like to teach you how to make Neapolitan style pizza in your own home. All you need are 4 basic ingredients for this method. Let's get into it. For this recipe, you will need 20 grams of salt, 677 grams of flour, 1.4 grams of dry yeast, and 500 milliliters of lukewarm water. Based on the quantity of these ingredients, you can make 4 pizzas. Each dough ball will be approximately 300 grams in size. In this video, I have doubled the recipe because I will be using the dough over the next few days. Before we begin incorporating our ingredients, it is important to note that the water content in this recipe is fairly high. This makes it a bit more difficult to work with the dough. The upside of having a higher hydrated dough is that it will become more light, fluffy, and crunchy. You may choose to slightly lower the water content in your dough to make it easier to work with. Start off by pouring all of your water into the mixing bowl. Next, take your dry yeast and put it into your bowl. I like to dissolve the yeast in the water by using a whisk. Pour approximately 10% of your flour into the yeast and water mixture so that it acts as a buffer between the salt and the yeast. The salt can kill the yeast if they are both directly in contact with each other. Once you have incorporated your water, your yeast, and a little bit of your flour, now go ahead and add your salt. Once you have incorporated your salt, now just add the rest of your flour in gradually. Make sure that all of the flour is incorporating as you go. And again, proceed to mix. All right, we're done. The gluten network within the dough needs to strengthen, so just letting it rest, that's gonna do all the work for you. Don't try to knead it anymore, just leave the dough, let it rest, and do its work. We'll be back soon. Welcome back, everyone. Now let's uncover our dough, and let's take a look at the gluten structure here. If I pull on this, look how strong that dough is. It's like an elastic. Take it out of the container right now, out of the bowl, and place it onto the table. Now it is time to form the dough ball so that we have a really nice gluten structure and a nice tight round ball to work with. So take your hands. You might want to wet them a little bit. Mine are not wet, but that's okay. And you're gonna take it off the table, you're gonna fold it in on itself. Okay, so do that, and you have to be quick with your hands. Be very quick. So take the dough, again, fold. Oh, that was a little too far. Take again, fold. Now, notice how smooth the surface of the dough is getting. Just keep doing that until you have a really uniform surface, and then it becomes nice and smooth. Last step, take your hands and then just put them underneath the dough like that, and I want you to pull back on the dough so that it becomes nice and taut. Okay, let's try that again. If you could see that, my hands were on the dough for too long, so make sure that it's a nice quick movement. So take it, push back, and then release. Push back, release. Your work surface should be dry when you're doing this step because you need to have some traction in order to produce tension on the top of the dough. Now that our dough ball has been formed, we're going to leave it on the work surface for another 10 to 15 minutes so that the gluten can just relax. Okay, we're back after 10 minutes. Let's take our dough and with one swift movement, make sure to pick it up from the bottom, and then you can place it in your bulking container like so. And this container is going to rest like this at room temperature for 1 hour. Once that hour has passed, put it directly into the fridge for another 24 hours. So the question remains, why are we putting the dough in the fridge for 24 hours? Well, this is called the proofing stage. The proofing stage is essential for the dough to rise properly. If you wish to leave your dough at room temperature, which you actually can, I would suggest leaving it out for only 12 hours. The temperature in the fridge controls the fermentation period so that the dough doesn't overproof. With all this being said, I'll see you tomorrow.